Hello everybody, it's time to practice what we have learned. Try to do this exercise alone. If you can't, then stick with me. Find numbers from 2 to 470. And these numbers must be divisible by 7, but cannot be divisible by 5. So both of these conditions must be met in the same time. And here is a hint to what you should use. And you should also think for a second which of that thing you should use. Should you use generator expression? Should you use list comprehension, set comprehension, or maybe dictionary comprehension? And think for a second about it, then make notes and think for a second, is the answer to above question always the same? Okay, so we need to find numbers from 2 to 470. I think that finding numbers is pretty easy. We can just use the range function and then we can put as the first value 2 and then 471. Remember that we need to add 1 here to that argument here because, well, otherwise we won't have 470 generated, right? Okay, so we should choose from numbers that gonna be generated here the one that are divisible by 7. What does it mean that a number is divisible by 7? It means that it is a multiple of 7. What does it mean? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, and so on, right? These guys are divisible by 7. Why? Because when you divide 7 by 7, it's just equal to 1. There is no remainder, right? There is no rest out when you divide 7 by 7, right? 14 divided by 7 is 2. There is no remainder. There is no rest, right? There is nothing left. Okay. Numbers that are not divisible by 7. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Let's look at these numbers. 35, 35. So we need to somehow exclude 35 from here because 35 is divisible by 7, but also it is divisible by 5 in the same time. We should exclude it because we don't want numbers that are divisible by 5, right? So we need to make two conditions, that's for sure. They need to be met in the same time. Okay, but how do we check if something is divisible by 7 or not? 7 mod 7, right? We'll use the modulo operator. 7 modulo 7 is 0. 14 modulo 7 is 0. 21 modulo 7 is 0. 28 modulo 7 is equal to 0. Well, let's use maybe equal sign, not the sign side, so like that. Do you see a pattern here? Well, every number that is divisible by 7 will give us as the result from the modulo operator 0. Okay? But we need to also somehow exclude numbers that are divisible by 5. So you see 35 mod 7 is also equal to 0. But 35 mod 5 is equal to also 0. So anytime when the result of operation, when you have on left side a number, on the right side you have got 5 and inside you have modulo, and the result is 0, we should remove a case like that, right? We should remove the number like that because we want to remove only 35, right? Because, well, other numbers are okay, right? Because 7 is divisible by 7, but we should remove numbers that are not divisible by 5, right? So only 35 is to be removed. So if you have something like 14 mod 5, it's gonna be equal to 4, right? So it's not equal to 0, right? So we need to remove only cases when we have condition like that. So we need to for sure do something like that. If number, we'll soon choose that number, but if number modulo 7 is equal to 0, right? And in the same time, if number modulo 5 is not equal to 0, we need to have both of these conditions met in the same time, and then we gonna choose what we wanted to. Okay, but now we need to somehow generate these numbers, right? Because we need to use these conditions on something. So what will you use? Generator expression, this comprehension, set comprehension, or maybe dictionary comprehension? Let's start from generator expression. Generator expression will give you a chance to generate each generated number when we demand generator to do it, right? So when we access it. So because of it, each of the number will not take space instantly in our memory. So if we want to rewrite numbers to for example, another file, or we want to just show them, okay, on the ones, of course, then it's a good idea, because if you want to do it many more times, then we somehow will need to save it anyway, right? This comprehension will give us a bonus of being able to access each of the elements, and also we're gonna be able to, for example, change elements, change values. We can sum values, right? We can add something, subtract something from these values, whatever we want, and also list have all the values ordered, right? So if we generate them in the order like that, when we're gonna show them, they will be the same way ordered, okay? Set comprehension is also a cool option, because it depends on our situation. Maybe we have in our program many numbers like that, right? We have, for example, in our program, lots of containers holding numbers, and all of them are sets, and now we added one more from something like that, right? What we're gonna do soon. And we want to, for example, connect them, right? We want to sum, or for example, make a conjunction with other sets. Set comprehension is good then, right? But the minus is that, well, the numbers will be unordered, right? We cannot keep our order in set. Dictionary comprehension, I think in our case, is just a bad idea, because we don't need any key, right? So as you can see, is the answer to above question always the same? Nope. It depends on your situation. Let's, for example, use first generator expression. So like that. Numbers. So firstly, I just put enter here because I don't want to focus on what happens with our numbers, but I want to first think, where do we choose numbers from? So we want to choose numbers from range. So for number in range, what we want to do with the numbers? Well, we don't want to do anything other than just save them. So we have chosen now all possible numbers from 2 to 470, but we want to make conditions. So let's copy these conditions here, and let's now print them out. So for number in numbers, print each number, and bam, colon. As you can see, it works fine, because you have 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35 was removed, right? When we do something like that, you will notice that we have a 35. Great, right? So this condition works fine. We just removed every number that is divisible by 5, right? So we've just solved the problem, and now we need to think for a second about this generator, list, comprehension, set, and dictionary. So we use a generator. We just printed numbers out. So yeah, it's fine. It's okay, right? But remember, when you use the list comprehension, the bonus is that, well, when we do something like that, you will notice that each number is, when we got it from here, is one after another, right? We have all the values ordered, right? And well, if we don't care about that order and we use the set comprehension, so we do something like that, you will notice that well, numbers are randomly put here, but the cool thing is that we can do some operations, like, for example, we can make the union with other set or something like that, right? So it depends on situation you have. Okay, that's only a lesson. Thank you very much.